up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We are here at the original filming lot location, right in my very own backyard, because we have one bad boy of a performance sedan. This is it. This is the all-new, redesigned 2022 Audi RS3. But before we get into this four-door, all-wheel drive powerhouse, let's talk about what's going on here. Audi, that iconic German brand, they've been doing the business when it comes to racing for decades, all the way back to the early Grand Prix days, and then of course the rally stages around the world and sports car endurance racing with many 24-hour Le Mans victories. Now for 2022, the A3 is now getting that RS treatment on a total redesign. What do we got? We got 5-cylinder, yes, you heard correctly, 5-cylinder turbocharged power, of course the Quattro all-wheel drive system, and a new shape and new technology for this vehicle. But what I want to find out is it the best of the new sports sedans that you should be driving, those performance sedans, or should you go maybe an AMG route with the AMG CLA 45? Let's go ahead, let's dive into our fluorescent yellow of an Audi RS3 and find out. Right off the bat, the proportions. I love the RS3 platform because of how it is sized. It really shows that agility that you're going to be able to experience behind the wheel. Now at the front of the business, all new design, and it all starts with the headlights. We got LED daytime running lamps, turn signals, and LED headlights. I love the way they got the daytime running lamps down in this little cluster, and then everything going across the top looks aggressive. And Audi has always been a brand on the top of the heap when it comes to lighting, especially because of those victories in the 24-hour Le Mans where you're gonna race at night. It is a little gloss black heavy, I am gonna say that, but the great news is we have full functionality. So you got functional air curtains, we got these large corner air intakes for all the heat exchangers, and we got brake cooling ducts as well, all blended nicely into one lower corner. Even the way that they took the front fascia and have it drop down without having to add anything on brings it that nice, clean German style. Now, when we come across the open face grille, Audi was really the one to kind of usher in this design. You see it a lot on many different car brands now, but we have everything blacked out. You got your blacked out Auto Union badge. Remember, that's the 4 German car brands that formed together during the World Depression to form Auto Union and Audi. But we got some heavy gloss black, a little too much for my liking, but I love the RS3 badge. When you see RS, what does RS stand for? Rennsport, racing sport. That is that highest level of performance that you're gonna get from Audi. Full functionality on the bottom. You could see the aluminum intercooler peeking from behind. And then of course this splitter is gonna stop air from going underneath the vehicle because that's gonna create lift, and we're gonna get more air for all the heat exchangers. Now when we get up onto that low slung hood, it's real clean, kind of rise in the center. Everything else just coasting right towards those side mirrors. When we come around the bend, we got new wheels and definitely new tires. So what do we got? We got these 19-inch forged aluminum wheels. I love the Y-spoke design, and I am digging the nice flat black, especially against the fluorescent yellow highlighter finish. When you look behind the wheel, what do we got? Massive rotors. So 2-piece rotors, cross-drilled, obviously fully ventilated, and then look at the size of that bright red 6-piston caliper with the RS badging on it. That is bigger than Ronald McDonald's head. So even though Ronald McDonald's got that big red hairdo, those calipers are bigger than his head. Adaptive suspension, all 4 corners. We got Bridgestone, Potenza, high performance tires, 265 on the width up front, 30 series sidewall. Gonna give you a nice stick and grip, all 4 corners, as the Quattro all-wheel drive system is gonna send power from the rear to the front to really make this thing stick to the asphalt like Gorilla Glue. Now what I like is everything is clean on the fender, no badging or anything like that. And I'm gonna have Steven kind of come around and show the wonderful flared fender with functional fender vent. That right there is worth the price of admission. That gets me excited any time of the day, even in the middle of the afternoon with this bright yellow Audi RS3. We got painted gloss black on the mirror caps. We got LED turn signals built in, color matched on the door handles, and then you'll notice that side sill, how it extends down. That is for aerodynamic efficiency. My only gripe is I wish some of this was carbon fiber. Now that may be an option, or you may have to go the custom route, but I think if that was carbon fiber, it would look just a little bit more tasteful for this type of vehicle than just gloss black. Thank you, Audi! I love the way we got the oversized sunroof, but they painted the whole roof black, especially with the fluorescent highlighter yellow. It cuts it just enough to where it's not too obnoxious. Let me know what you think about this color, by the way. I've seen blue ones, I've seen red ones. This is the first time I've ever seen one this color. Now out back, when we look at the rear, you're still getting, of course, those awesome looking wheels. Brake calipers though, they're doing that floating style. I wish they would go more of a 4-corner rigid Brembo setup. What's interesting is out back, these are 245s. Let's think about that for a second. Let's hit the pause button here. The tires up front are actually wider than the tires out back. 265s, 245s, that's not a mistake. That's the engineering that Audi has said. Their magicians have been able to get this thing to handle like nothing but the business. We're gonna freaking find out with some on throttle, I'll tell you that much. Coming around the rear, nice and clean. This is where it gets a little bumpy, so I hope you got your seatbelt on. I don't mind the trunk lid spoiler. It's got a nice kick up. Like I said, this in carbon fiber. Think about BMW, think about Mercedes. They do carbon fiber. I would like to see that carbon fiber. Awesome job on the LED lighting, especially the way the hazards have that nice flow. Blacked out on the Auto Union badge. Here's where the zonks are gonna fly left and right. What in the heck is going on here? Fake vent from one side all the way to the other. Why did they do that? At least make the corner ones functional and get rid of this, or just get rid of it altogether. Make it body color. Give me more of this yellow, fluorescent highlighter yellow. But where they hit the nail on the head, look at that massive oval opening slash cut on the exhaust, one on each side, and I'm totally digging the rear diffuser. That looks like it's plucked right off a Le Mans race car. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood, because like I said, RS3, 5-cylinder power. Let's go check it out. Guys, we got the hood popped. You have a single large hood strut to keep the hood open. Underneath the hood, this is where the magic happens. This is where the donuts are made. I love this engine compartment. First of all, you got the Audi badge, the Auto Union badge. Love what they did there without covering it with a bunch of plastic. This is plastic, but you know what? With the red and the RS badge, and it's not too large, it's tastefully done. But what do we got? Because it's definitely not about the cover in this car. We have a 2.5 liter inline 5. It's the only car to have this besides the TTRS currently. Inline 5 turbocharged engine, 401 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 7-speed DCT, dual clutch transmission, 0 to 60, 3.2 seconds, quarter mile, 11.8 at 119 miles per hour. Top speed is restricted to 159 miles per hour. The car weighs 3,130 pounds, even with the Quattro all-wheel drive. MPGs, 20 in the city, 29 on the highway. If you're comparing that to an AMG CLA 45, that car has a 2-liter inline 4 turbocharged engine, 382 horsepower, and it's mated to a 7-speed DCT transmission as well. But you know what? As good as this engine looks, I want to know, does it sound very good? So why don't we fire up this inline 5 turbocharged setup and hear what it sounds like. right, guys, we're inside this German cruise missile known as the Audi RS3. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I'm sick and tired of all my friends, not only my friends, but the fact that they drive BMW M cars and Mercedes AMG vehicles. I really want something different, and this highlighter yellow RS3 seems to be checking off all the boxes for me. How much is it though? Very good question. MSRP starts at $59,000. This one, the way it's optioned, is right around $66,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. Love the clean German Euro style. Within that silver trim at the top, you do have some ambient lighting built in, which is going to look really nice to set the right ambiance for you at night while you're driving. Even the way they did the handle there to open the door, silver finish, and it's just sculpted in a very purposeful way. Door handle, all flat black. In the center, you got some Alcantara microfiber suede material. The armrest is as hard as a stale piece of dark German forest chocolate cake. Door pocket is pretty tight, so maybe 2 strudels and a bottle of milk to wash it down. We got the Bang & Olufsen sound system. Not like you're going to want to listen to that because we got 5 cylinders to listen to. But going from the door panel to the dash, soft touch material, sort of reminds me of a Nerf football I used to play with when I was a kid. This should be carbon fiber, but obviously it's not. The Quattro badge is nice, and I do like the aluminum trim, but I am going to zonk that that should be carbon fiber. I do appreciate where they place the infotainment system. So you got a 10.1-inch infotainment system that is cleanly within the center stack. It's not that stuck-on iPad style that some of the other models have. A little too much gloss black, but of course with that infotainment system, you do have your navigation. Great graphics and colors. Look how smooth that works. Now the one I'm going to focus on is going to be vehicle. Why? Because of the different things that we could do, especially when you go into RS Monitor. You could actually see the temperatures of all the different things. We have where the power is being sent, our G meter ratings, and then even tire pressure, but we got to be moving for the tire pressure to show. We go back, we go into Audi Drive Select. Comfort, auto, dynamic, but guess what? We got an RS, so you could go RS individual or RS performance, or if you really want to be like a rally drift king, you could put the car into RS torque mode because all of the power will be sent to the rear wheels. And what's interesting is that that rear diff has a multi-plate wet clutch to send 100% of the torque from one wheel to the other out back. That's what's new for 2022. We got our dual climate control, heated seats, but I'm shocked no ventilated seats at $65,000. You got your toggle switches in case you don't want to touch the screen, USB-Cs, 2 of them, and wireless charging. I like the start stop button. I gotta zonk the gloss black. Too much gloss black. And this little shifter nub thing, I'm not digging it at all. Give me an actual shift lever for Pete's sakes and get rid of this gloss black. So we are gonna have to zonk that. 2 cup holders though. You got your RS badge. That is worth its weight in gold. Buttons on the back, no remote start, but you got the Audi Union badge. 12 volt for a radar detector, you're gonna want it. 2 cup holders. You got a Tic Tac holder here. So when you're done smoking the tires, doing the drift mode, you can then pop a nice spearmint Tic Tac to chill your breath. It's actually pretty soft on the armrest. Lift it up, we have the official Audi Sport fingerprint cleaning cloth. You could clean up all that gloss black, and there's enough room for that small piece of the Berlin Wall that you took home after you were there on a school resource trip to learn about the history of Germany. You brought back a piece of the Berlin Wall when they knocked it down. Should have never been put up. Seats, the leather, the RS. Look at all the hexagonal stitching. Absolutely spot on the money. And when you're looking at the seat, of course, you have your controls, nice electric assist. You got that hamstring extension. This is some of Steven's sweat that shows you how hard he works. And then I'm 6 feet tall, and for a smaller sport performance sedan, nice amount of room in here. I don't like the shade, but what I do like is you got an oversized sunroof. But I'm gonna keep that closed. The shade really doesn't block the sun. But come over here. I don't have your name on the steering wheel. I got an Audi badge though. Come on over. I want to show you behind the wheel of the RS3. All right guys, behind the business end, you got 2 memory seat settings, so you can let somebody borrow your Audi RS3, but I think you're nuts if you do. I love the aluminum sill plate with the LED lighting, especially around the RS3, and then the pedal box. Spot on the money. Aluminum dead pedal, brake, and throttle. The only way that this could be getting any better is if there was a nice manual transmission and a clutch pedal. Seat controls are easy to get to. You can adjust the bolstering, the lower lumbar, and everything in between. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of headroom in here, even with the sunroof. Steering wheel, it just goes to show you don't need a flat bottom steering wheel. Nice thickness, perforated leather all the way around. You got your RS badge, the Auto Union badge. You do have paddles on the back of the steering wheel to go up and down that 7-speed DCT transmission. It is a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. My favorite part is going to be the RS button, because that gives you the special modes that the A3 and the S3 do not have. And then you have that massive virtual cockpit. Audi was the first to pioneer this. That is what you see in RS performance mode. You could then change it by the press of a button, or when you go into the different modes, look at how it changes. I really like that whole setup there on how everything changes depending on what mode you're in, which is great. And then you could shrink it, you could increase it, and you got a head-up display, which is awesome, to give you the perfect amount of information. But why don't we go ahead, we got 4 doors. Let's see if sharing is really caring, just like Barney used to say, in the back seat with some passengers in your all-wheel drive cruise missile. All right, guys, backseat time, and this is where you find out that this is smaller than a BMW M3. It's even smaller, a little smaller than a Cadillac CT4V Blackwing, is the amount of rear seat passenger room. Now, the good news is they carved the headliner out just like you carve a pumpkin for Halloween, but still a little tight. I'll be honest, I had to move the seats up a little bit just to show some room back here so Steven can, you know, flex his camera muscles and show you what's going on. So what is going on? I do like the one-piece backs. You got a little bit of plastic, and I'm gonna zonk this cargo net, but the good news is you could put probably 4 separate wiener schnitzels back here. Yes, I said wiener, schnitzels all the way across. You do have probably some of the smallest AC vents you'll ever find, and you do have a temperature control wheel. Would have been nice for them to bring some digital touches back here, but we got USB-Cs, 2 of them. And then when it comes to the overall seat, like I said, if you could get this person to move the seat up, I'm fairly comfortable in here. The seats actually match the front seats, which are great. That's not always the case. And then you pull this down. So, do you know where the Pilgrims landed? Yeah, on Plymouth Rock. This is as hard as Plymouth Rock. So, not the softest, but at least you got some room for your arm and 2 cup holders. But why don't we go ahead, let's see how much mail we could haul to Germany in this German cruise missile, the RS3. Hey guys, time to get into the trunk. One of the things that's great about this car is not only do you have 4-door versatility, but also a nice trunk on versatility as well. When it comes to the trunk space, you do have a good size opening, 14 cubic feet. The only zonk is because this is all-wheel drive, the cargo floor is not very low, but they give you this nice cargo net. That's where you're gonna take your loaves of bread so they don't slide around. And of course, we got the required Nürburgring Nordschleife Twinkie holder. That's for a box of Twinkies, so that when you're going through the over 9 miles of twists and turns in what's known as the green hell, your Twinkies are not gonna slide around with the bread, the loaves of bread, and just make a big creamy mess. But you know what? Speaking of creamy mess, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle in our all-wheel drive 5-cylinder turbo RS3. All right, guys, we're inside this 2022 Audi RS3. I've been waiting for it. You've been waiting for it. I got it in RS performance mode, and I'm gonna manually shift with the paddles through that dual clutch transmission. If you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. Nice. Great turning. Nice and balanced. The shifts are like with authority. On the brakes. Quick turning. Look at this. Changes direction so fast. On those massive brakes. Yeah! Wow. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. That inline 5 turbocharged power plant sounds like a swarm of killer bees. Very unique, and definitely the Quattro all-wheel drive system, transferring that power from the front to the rear, from the rear to the front. You got launch control. It is mind-blowing. Just when you thought Audi couldn't bring it up another notch with the RS3 on this new platform, it is absolutely ridiculous, the amount of performance that you're getting. Of course, out of the German brands, one of my favorite interiors, especially the seats. They're comfy, they look damn sexy, and they hold you in nicely. The paddles, I wish they were just a little bit larger, and I wish they were just totally made out of metal. I think that would have just kind of elevate the whole feel in here, but having the G meter up, the RS performance gauges and readouts, the head-up display, the amount of room that you have. I mean, you literally could drive this to the track with some friends, put a helmet on, turn your fast laps, and then drive home in total comfort. They really did a great job intensifying the quickness of turning, especially with the feedback. It's like you think it and you're already turning. That's how good it is. Sound, a lot of it is pumped in through the speakers. It does sound good, but I know it is artificial. It's not that actual exhaust. I wish the exhaust sounded a little bit more intense, especially for the $1,000 option of having the Audi Sport Performance exhaust. I just would like to hear a little bit more singing out of that 5-cylinder turbocharged engine. But everything else, visibility, so petite, so balanced. I'm ready for some more. I hope you are. All right, guys, what's great is launch control is a snap. You don't have to do 5,000 different things and have a Captain Crunch decoder ring to figure it out. Left foot on the brake, right foot on throttle. You hold. There we go, yeah! Oh my God! The shifts are so fast. Those massive brakes. God, I love this thing. The grip level is just absolutely phenomenal. Nice. I'm telling you, the brakes, man, the brakes. It's crazy. You don't get a ton of understeer. A little bit of initial understeer, but then the back comes around a little bit on you, allows you to square off the corner, and you feel invincible. This thing makes you feel like a pro race car driver because of the amount of grip, the way it communicates to you, and the balance is just second to none. I would take this over an AMG or a BMW product. I may take this over the CT4V Blackwing. The only thing that's holding me back is a manual. That would be a blast in this thing, but obviously it is hooked up the way it is from the factory. All right, guys, dead stop again. I love this launch control. On throttle. God, the shifts. It's like you're getting kicked in the back of the head by a horse. I love it. Nice. It is a shame that these engines are going to be coming to an end. I don't care what you say about EVs. This thing is a blast to drive. The connection, the feel, the experience. I want to park this one in my garage. That's how good it is. Now, me personally, I'd pick a different color. But from a performance standpoint, from a interior standpoint, I even love the way the freaking thing looks, except for the back, where all that fake vent is. Unbelievable, Audi. Unbelievable. All right, guys, one more time for me. Definitely one more time for you. If you're ready, I'm freaking ready. On throttle, here we go. God, so ferocious. Unbelievable. On those massive freaking brakes, look at this thing. God, it's like you just throw it right into a corner, it sticks. Just sticks. Nice crisp turn in. Look at this. Audi has really just showcased what they could do. From all those great 24-hour Le Mans victories, sports car races, everything in between. Wow, this car is definitely has been worth the wait. But I hope it's been worth the wait for you. We're gonna get back to where it all freaking started on this one and wrap it up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been a crazy, insane, but definitely a fun, spectacular day with this Audi RS3. I want to thank everybody at Audi for allowing us access to this all-new RS3, totally redesigned. Let me know what you think. Is this the best of the smaller performance sedans for the money, or would you rather go AMG CLA 45? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ladies Rides family. We got to give it up to the man on a mission. He's doing the job, and he's doing it well. Stephen Flood Photography. Show him some love in that comment section. Check him out on Instagram, Stephen Flood Photography on Instagram. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.